What is happening, everybody? TCT back again, and today, after what would be 13 long years, Avatar: The Way of Water is out. And yes, I went to see it. I wanted to say something, but first I want you to see me going into the theater, and I want you to see my cousins, my stepfather. I want you to see their reactions coming out of the theater, so take a look.
Oh, booking.com, yeah. Hey,
It's all good. Thought I can take.
now go fight
Here
for
we
your
go.
family. Go fight for the world.
Woo!
Yeah.
Good movie.
Mm-hmm.
That was good.
Good movie?
Yeah,
Good
good
movie?
Yeah. The girls must have.
Yeah.
I like the movie. All right. So now we're back. Man, let me tell you. There's a reason. I'm sorry it's been late, guys. I mean, I've been really busy with the holidays. But there's a reason this thing in 2 weeks has made already $900 million, almost $1 billion. This movie was gorgeous. This thing was gorgeous. Okay? I love the first Avatar. I thought it was great. The story was great. The imagery, the photography, the cinematography, everything was great. Guys, if you go see this movie in 3D, make sure you have the correct glasses, for one, because our Regal kind of messed that up, but I was able to solve the problem right as the movie was getting started. Didn't miss anything. If you're going to see it in IMAX like I did, these are the ones you need to have right here. Okay? Just letting you know, Regal, you guys have got to slow down and be better, okay? There's a reason I go to Alamo. But I had to see this in IMAX 3D. Look at that. Oh, wow. Look at the dimensions. But beside the point, make sure that if you're on the regular screen, it's smaller glasses. It says Real D 3D. These say IMAX 3D on them. IMAX lasers. Okay? Make sure you have the correct glasses. And I highly recommend seeing this movie in 3D. I highly recommend it. IMAX experience was amazing. Now that I had the correct glasses, the IMAX experience was amazing. Let me just say, James Cameron's 3D technology, bravo, folks, bravo. Now let's get into the story. It picks right up a few years later, since the end of the first Avatar. And there you see Jake Sully and Nateri Sully. Her last name is Sully now. They're married. They have children. This movie is mostly about their children and them learning a new way with the Water Clan. Basically that. I'm not going to give too many spoilers out for those who haven't seen it. I really would like you to go see this movie, okay? There was a couple things that I wanted to talk about. Number one, the movie itself, it starts off throwing too much at you too fast. So you got to pay attention. But it really starts to slow down then. It's a 3-hour movie, folks. 3 hours and 10 minutes is the runtime. So take away credits. It's probably 2 hours and 55 minutes, 3 hours, okay? It's a very long movie. I would suggest getting your popcorn and using the restroom before you go see it, okay? James Cameron, there is a reason you are a master filmmaker. This movie was good. I liked it. I didn't hate this movie at all. There were some parts about it I didn't really care for. The story mostly. It dragged in a little bit of places, but you're going to have that in a 3-hour movie. He spent 3 hours showing you the beauty of Pandora and the underwater scenes, which are amazing in 3D. Okay? The underwater scenes is the reason you need to go see this in 3D. Mark my words. They have children. I don't want to get into who's who. Basically, I would like you to go see the movie. I really would. So they had, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, I would say 5 children that they're caring for. A few of them are theirs, a few of them are not. We'll get into that. But Jake and Nateri, they're together, and basically their mission in this movie is to protect their family from an evil force. I don't want to say who. I think everybody kind of knows who. So I'll go ahead and say it's the Colonel from the last movie. Yeah, he's in this. But it's totally different than the last movie. It's not that Colonel at all. It's you'll see. I don't want to give that away. Let me just say, like I said, get the correct glasses. Okay, get the correct glasses. You got to have the correct glasses. They gave us the little glasses, and it didn't work too well. It really didn't work too well. So I got the correct glasses, and everything cleared out. Everything was beautiful. Man, it felt like the water was like right here. I could put my hand through it. Oh man, all the underwater life was just flying through the theater. The IMAX experience was wonderful. I couldn't get into 4DX. I was trying to get into 4DX where I was. We don't have a 4DX in my town, but where I was, there was a 4DX. Man, it was sold out. I couldn't get in because we went with a huge group of people. We had 7 people with us, okay? We all couldn't get in to see 4DX. So that's one of the reasons why it took so long, because I had folks that wanted to go to see it, and I wanted to go with them. I was going to go see it right when it came out, but I did not do it, okay? And you see my cousins and my stepfather in that clip I just showed you. The others were sitting right below us, so that was a pretty nice theater. I enjoyed the theater, but Regal, you guys have to hire some more folks and tell them to slow down when they get everybody in. Let's see. Basically, they follow, this is what I picked up on. They follow pretty much the same formula the first one did. And I will get into this. So, in the first one, you have a stranger to a new world that is learning the way of the Na'vi, and that would be Jake Sully. It's sort of similar with the children in this one, okay? They're in their forest world, and now they have to learn the way of water. Same thing. Same. They have to learn a new way. Just as he had to learn to speak the language, and learn to be a forest man, now they have to learn to be sea people. It's really good. I liked it. That's the part of the movie I liked the most, was watching them learn the way of the water. The end of it's fantastic, but I'll get to that in a minute. So basically, as they're going through, it's still following the same format. It's the sky people are back. I will say that. I mean, that's not a spoiler at this point. And it's just like the last movie. There's, it's going the same route, to where there's the sky people attacking. Do they need to move from their home? It's exactly the same as the original Avatar, but the story is very well done in that. If they continued with that format, it's like, okay, we taught these guys our ways. They were making trouble. The bullies, just like Natera's, I guess, fiance was Jake Sully's bully. They had some bullies for the kids. It was almost the same exact format, man. I was watching them like, this is just Avatar 1. But they did it so well. They tried to hide it so well, but I caught it. Okay, I caught it. This is it was the same storyboarding, but with more beautiful tone and a lot lighter effects. The water made everything so beautiful. I would say that. I would say the water was the water scenes. Everything in the water was the best part of the movie. The action was good, but the water stuff, they had maybe, 45 minutes of just them in the water, under the water with the sea creature, and just seeing it in 3D, everything flying around the room. Man, like you could touch it, like, they had fish, Awa. You could see, you remember the little things that would fall on Jake Sully and Nateri seen them? They're like the little dandelion things. They're under the water as well. So it's the spirit of Awa under the water. They have a spirit tree there. They, all kinds of places that they could link into Awa. And I'm not going to tell you why they become water people. You need to see that for yourself. But it was wonderful. It was beautiful. The story though, there was some moments where I'm like, I don't see enough of Jake Sully or Nateri. And I was getting a little bit annoyed until the final, I would say, 45 minutes, then it started to pick up with those two. And I'm like, thank you, James Cameron. Like, I think he recognized that, and it's like, yeah, because there was building for the children. I love the children. The children were great. There was a lot of building for the children. There was a lot of building for the world. But you don't see, like, you see Nateri and Jake falling in love through the first movie. You don't see that as much in this. You don't see their relationship as much in this. You see them just wanting to protect their family. But you don't see the, I see you, I love you. Not between them as much. Like, you know, they didn't really have much of a big role in, I would say, the first 2 hours of this movie. But the final hour, they did. The final hour, that was Nateri's hour. Okay, Jake Sully was great at the end, but Nateri is the final hour was all hers, man. Let me just say to Zoe Saldana, woo! You guys know what I'm talking about. There's a moment right before the final battle where everything changes. You're going to know what I'm talking about when you see it. And that's where Nateri becomes unhinged. And man, she went full board. She went to the point where the children had to kind of like draw her back. And she had to recognize, hey, I'm putting my family in danger, you know, because she was losing it, man. You saw her lose it in the first movie after the death of her father. Like she lost it pretty bad. And then it took Jake to calm her down. It's kind of the same. And it took the children like, hey, we get it. Calm down. Calm down. Like, you know, man, Zoe Saldana, the way she screams, you can just feel the pain. You can feel the pain. Sam Worthington, however, like, I honestly believe his performance in the first one was better than this one. It's probably because you actually saw the real Sam Worthington in the first one. You don't see him at all in this. It's just not his avatar. Man. But he did great, though. He did great. I also just, I didn't like that in the first movie he was willing to fight. This movie he was not. He was not willing to fight. He was willing to run because he had something to lose this time. And that was wonderful. Wonderfully well done. But Nateri was like, I'm ready to slit the throats. Okay. And she was correct. They needed to take the fight. Otherwise they'd always be running. And that was the message there. And that's where I think James Cameron did a great job. That's where I think he did the most phenomenal job at. So, man, we're going to get to the end here. The end of it, man, is just, you see a lot of the Titanic in it. Okay. You remember the sinking scenes in the Titanic of how claustrophobic they made you, about how quickly water was rushing in. You get a lot of that. I'm so glad he was able to bring a bit of Titanic into this, you know, action wise. The folks I was watching it with probably didn't recognize that he used a lot of the same effects in the end of this that he did in the sinking scenes of Titanic. It was probably the same thing where they had it on a rig and they dunked it in the water. And they probably did it and digitally put in some characters, or they could have just done it in the suits. I don't know how they did it. I can't wait to see the behind the scenes to this, man. I know they've been filming like crazy. And guys, well, you know, hard work, well done. I'm going to give you guys credit. I know it's painful, man. I know it's painful to do these kind of movies. I think we're getting maybe, 4 more after this? Maybe 5? I think it might be 6 or 7 of these movies when all said and done. There's supposed to be the third one coming out either next year or the year after. Very close to now. And then the fourth one is in, I think it's finished filming, or it's still currently filming, and it's about to enter post-production or something like that. It might be in pre-production. I know the third film has, I think it was like 9 hours of footage, so they have to cut that down. But I mean, it's footage that they've shot. It's not footage of, okay, it's going to be a 9-hour movie. We have 9 hours of shot footage, so it's probably repeats of the same stuff. He just got to cut it down. I'm hoping it's not 4 hours long, man, because when I saw Return of the King when I was young, I was like, please, I can't do 3 hours and 45 minutes. I would love it, but they've got to like give everybody a 15-minute break, because you can't sit in that theater, man. Your legs start going to sleep at some point, because you're sitting cramped in that theater. And I was in a sold out IMAX theater where I was, man. I was in I was up north. Let me just put that. I was not here at my home. I was up north. I would say in the DC area. I was in the DC area. And man, like on Christmas night, I saw this on Christmas night. I know I said I was going to see the Friday before Christmas, but something came up. I had to refund that. And then I went with a group of 7. It was just going to be me and my stepfather. It was a group of 7. It was me, my uncle, my 2 aunts, my 2 cousins, and my stepfather. So me, my uncle, my 2 aunts, my 2 cousins, and my stepfather. It was 7 people that went. And we couldn't all get seats together, but I got some seats almost below us. It was crazy. It was crazy. And by the way, guys, if you're going to take your family to see a movie, please respect others in the theater, because we had a group that was at the very top that talked throughout the whole thing. We could hear them. It wasn't so bad to where it was like annoying to where we wanted to go get someone, but you could definitely hear them throughout the whole thing. Guys, please respect others in the theater, especially when it's a packed house. Please, like, you can talk, just whisper, please respect others. I will tell you that. But oh man, there's so much I want to talk about with this. I'm going to probably have to do it on my podcast whenever I bring that back, just break it down. Don't ask me any of the names. I have to watch the movie again. There's so much information because it's a long movie, and I'm not fluent in the Navi names. I know Jake Sully. I know Nateri. I know. I think he's got 2 daughters, 2 sons, and an adopted son. Or no, there are 3 sons. He's got 3 sons. So I think it's 5 children, isn't it? Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I think 5 children. 3 of which are his, and 2 of which are not. So that's but they adopted them. Like, they raised them. And they are family, They Sullys stick together. That was the message in the movie from Jake Sully. Sullys stick together, and you see that a ton in this movie. Man. So if I graded the first Avatar, it was an A. It wasn't perfect, but it was I don't give too many A pluses, but that one I was thinking A+ for the first Avatar. This one, there were some things they didn't need to add, but they did, and it made it more fun. I probably need to watch it again and regrade it, but I'm going to give it an A, just a regular A. First Avatar gets an A+. This one gets an A, solely because there was a part in the movie where it was dragging a little. And then there was a character that's in the first hour of the movie that you didn't see for probably maybe 50 minutes. That's too long, and it's a main character too. So the pacing was a little, but the special effects were phenomenal. Let me just say, man, it's just as good as the first one. It's just as good as the first one. I think the first one had a perfect balance of everything. This one was really close, but I'm going to give it a straight A. Just a straight A. All right, but I could give it an A+, but the movie critic in me is not giving it an A+. It's so long, and because it's so long, everything was stretched out, which is good for it. But there was also some characters in there that were acting their acting wasn't too good, and it was towards the end too, and they were like one-off characters. But in the first one, they didn't have any characters like that. I don't believe. At least I don't remember any characters like that. There's a couple of them at the end where I'm just like, you didn't need to be there. You know what I'm saying? So he threw a lot in that didn't need to be in. That's why I'm just going to give it a straight A. I love the movie, though. I thought it was fantastic. It was a masterpiece of technical filmmaking. And when people get on Marvel, how much do they spend on this budget, man? They spent maybe $100 million more than some Marvel movies do. And this looks 10 times better than anything Marvel does. So now you see, if James Cameron's team can do it, that's why Marvel gets so much flack for its bad CGI, because they're going the cheap route and trying to get the easy money, and they don't need to. Man, there was parts in this where you're like, yeah, that's digital. There's other parts where it's like, it's digital, but it does not look digital. It does not look CG, man. I mean, their skin from everything from the water, from the sea creatures looked real. And I'm like, James Cameron, please share this technology, man. Please share this before you die to other movie companies and let them have at it, man. By the way, your 3D is the best 3D I've ever seen. Mark my words on that. I got to see Universal's 3D when they did it for Jurassic World. They did a great job. Nowhere close to James Cameron's, folks. I mean, I felt like it was in my lap watching James Cameron's in IMAX theater. I mean, that's why I said, if you can get to go to the IMAX screen, do it. Please do it. But that's going to do it for this video, you guys. I hope you guys had a great Christmas, a safe holiday. And as always, this is TCT signing off. Please go see this movie, guys. It's a fun movie. If you see it in 2D, I fear you're not gonna get like you might be bored during some of the underwater stuff. If you see it in 3D, you will not be bored at all. It was phenomenal looking in 3D. Let me just say, go see it in 3D. If you don't like 3D, you're still gonna have a great time watching this. The action's there, but the beauty is what I loved about this movie the most. It was so beautiful. It was so creative with some of the villages. Man, you know, I could talk about it all day, but I don't want to have a 30-minute video. So remember to like, subscribe, and favorite. And as always, this is TCT signing off. Have a great day, everybody. See you guys again next time. Avatar: The Way of Water, now in theaters. Go see it. Trust me, it is worth your money.